Welcome to our latest video. Today, we are going to talk about the third eye. Now, this is why I'm wearing blue and purple, because the first time I ever saw the third eye, I actually saw it very much like this necklace. I saw it with blues and purples and all these sparkly colors. I saw it as like endless colors. And then when people told me it was indigo, I said, I don't see it like that. So I actually just kind of go with what I see, and I will actually sometimes see it somewhat indigo because I'm clairvoyant. So the colors actually mean something to me, especially when I was first starting out and I wanted so badly to do everything correctly. Knowing the colors of each chakra made me feel like I had a bit of a map to follow. This chakra to me is like the holy grail of chakras. When we get to this chakra, we're kind of getting to what people believe that they are moving towards when they begin meditation. That the third eye chakra is kind of the goal that we set for ourselves. The ability to see beyond what we can see and to make sense of what we actually already do see. Because I believe very, very strongly that the third eye is very naturally open. I think as children, we have our third eye open all the time. And then slowly but surely, as we integrate into society and the way people believe things and do things, the third eye slowly but surely closes itself up or builds walls in some sorts of ways. For some of us, there is no ability to actually shield the third eye. It's just always open and always there. That's interesting. The voices in my head actually just equated having your third eye constantly and always open your entire life to having ADHD, which makes a little bit of sense because if I were to look at what we marked as the monikers or characteristics of ADHD, I got that stuff. I got that. But I also have a third eye that will never close, that is always open. It's always on. And actually, all I need to do is actually hone it and hone it and make it so that I can somewhat understand it. And so do you, and that's why we're here. Okie dokie. So, the sound of your third eye is shum. S-H-A-M, shum, shum. Now, that sound is the sound that I will say over and over again when I am opening my chakras once I get to my third eye, after my throat chakra. That sound I make, I see the color indigo and purple behind it when I make it, because I'm super duper visual. But what if you're not super duper visual? What if you want to open your third eye, but you can't seem to make a picture happen within your mind? What do you do? How do you know when it's open? Well, there are other indicators. I have found for myself that when my third eye is open, and I do ask for this to be reinforced by the powers that be, I can actually feel it on my forehead. It actually feels like a vibration on my forehead, which I mistakenly took as sinusitis when I was in my 20s. When I was in my 20s, I had terrible sinus problems, I thought. Terrible allergies. I spent so much money on antihistamines and allergy pills and all these different pills to cover up or to change the experience that I was having with my face, because it was somewhat unbearable. What I learned when I became a yogi was that a neti pot is actually a lot better than an antihistamine for helping with your allergies because it flows. When we have allergies, it's kind of like a stopping up, and actually, I gotta get off the allergy train. What was actually happening was that my third eye was moving and doing the things it needed to do, but getting absolutely no acknowledgement from me. I was seeing things, I was experiencing things, but I was pretending they were not there because it did not match with the normalized narrative that was in my head. This idea that I can't hear voices from beyond, that when I see a picture of something, it's nothing, I'm just seeing a picture of all those sorts of things I kept denying to myself. So it kept getting backed up to the point where I was going to have surgery, for goodness sakes. I was going to have them drill into my skull. But then I became a yogi. And I discovered alternate nostril breathing, which is where you take your finger and your thumb and you place one thumb on one nostril and then you breathe in through the available nostril and then you switch. And then out the other nostril. Back and forth. What that did was center my attention right here. And centering my attention right here is what I needed to do. Because even though I knew that I was a little psychic creature, I had no idea how to actually control the way the information was coming to me. And it's not so much about control as it is about understanding, as it is about knowing, very much knowing. And to know is the crown, to see is the third eye, but they so go hand in hand that I almost actually want to do both chakras at the same time because they go so darn hand in hand. But we're doing the third eye because we got to take our baby steps so that we know where we're going and what we're doing. What do you do? How do you open your third eye? How do you even know it's open when you do open it? Good question. How do you know when it's open when you open it? I actually ask. Yeah, that's true. I just saw something. Okie dokie. So when I first started meditating, it was very, very important to me that I actually make the process of communication flow, because I see what I do as being incredibly important. I take what I do with a great deal of seriousness and love, and having lost so many people to crossings, I can empathize very much with those who are in loss, and I take it very, very, very seriously. So I wanted to open myself up properly and know that I was actually giving valid, good communication and information. So to do so, I needed to meditate and clear each chakra and meditate under the idea that what we were doing was clearing the pathways so the energy and information could flow. And that is actually the way I clear my chakras now, because I clear my chakras before my readings. Every darn day I clear my chakras, which is really, really helpful. It's kind of like, I should do the same thing with my taxes. I should do them every darn day, and that way I don't get to March and April in tears, because I do. So your chakras are the same thing. I'm just really, really good about this stuff rather than the normal people stuff. So what you'll want to do is to go in with the idea of what you want to do. Tell your guides where you're going with your chakra movement. Tell them what you would like to see. Tell them what your goal is, because they're on board with you. And they are part of your spiritual contract. They want to help you do everything that you plan to do when you decided to come down here. So if you inform them in any way, shape, or form as to what your goal is, they will help you reach your goal. And how you inform them is by verbalizing it out your mouth, maybe before you go to sleep or at any time, because they're always there going, say something exciting, please. Could you please do something exciting? They're always watching you. They're always right there beside you. They're always around you, waiting for you to get it and to do the things you need to do. They try to guide you so that you actually fulfill that spiritual contract, even though you do not know that that is what they're doing. So ask them to help you with this. Ask them possibly to show you when it's open. That is actually what I do. When I first started meditating, I would open up my root, then my sacral, then my solar plexus, then my heart, then my throat. And then when it came to the third eye, what I would do is I would visualize. And I know if you have trouble visualizing, that could be a difficulty. But if you have trouble visualizing, you know the other ways that you make up for it. You know that there are certain things that you do that make up for the lack of visualization that comes to you, that are things that I don't do because I'm all on the visualization. So you might be auditory, you might be tactile, you might actually need the feeling to come inside of you. So you might want to, if you want to open each chakra, you might want to keep a crystal that represents each chakra. I would advise somewhat against actually switching each crystal between each chakra, because it will take you somewhat out of your meditation. I would say that you might actually just want to have them all with you so that you know that they're there, and the crystals that pertain to that chakra will actually ignite while you're in that chakra. When I first started out, I used to actually visualize my third eye as an actual eye. I would see an eye on a stage, and I would see curtains covering it, and then when I would ask for it to be opened, I would watch the curtains part so I could see the eye. I would also ask for the angels to open my third eye for me, so that I could be sure that it was going to be open, because I needed to know for certain that my third eye was open, so that the information I was getting and giving was valid and good information. So that is why I did that. Now, when you open your third eye, you might not be doing it to gain information for other folks. You actually are doing it to gain information for you. So do the same for yourself. Actually ask that everything you see gets validated in some way or is valid, and that you know it is valid through a way that makes the most sense to you. I ask to feel things in my body, and that is why I do. I ask to be able to feel it right here, and that way I know it's on. I will even ask when I am choosing a card deck or choosing a crystal to feel my third eye. That way I know that that thing is for me. So I am to tell you to do something kind of similar. Find your way. They're your spirit guides. They're your angels. It's your life. It's your third eye. Figure out how to open it in a way that makes the most sense to you. And then if you want to dumb it down for you, dumb it down for you. And if you want to take it to a highfalutin place of a massive intelligence and spirituality, do that as well. What works for you inside is what actually will work for you. Because when we do things that come very naturally to us, the energy flows, because we are doing something that does not seem to have the barriers that so many other things do. It's kind of like when you find that profession that you're just naturally able to do, or that thing that comes into your life like motherhood or fatherhood that you're naturally able to do, and you realize, oh my goodness, this is how my energy flows. Your chakras are the same. Your psychic energy is the same. Your energy that lies within yourself is very much the way that you get along here and how you respond to stimuli. So finding out about it will make it easier for you to get along here. And knowing your third eye will help you to connect with those who are already trying to connect with you. Opening your third eye will assist you in being able to communicate with your crossed over loved ones. Opening your third eye will assist you in communicating with your spirit guides. And opening your third eye will assist you in communicating with your angels and the powers that be. All of those who are actually on your side, trying to help you to actually complete your spiritual contract. So, opening your third eye can help you to discover who you truly are, actually, and what you can truly do, because each one of us is psychic, and we are all psychic for different reasons and in different ways. And each and every one of those reasons and ways actually pertains to the community. And you pertain to the community, because we're a pack, friends. everything you do affects everyone around you, and everything they do affects you. So if you are able to know how energy affects you, what the energy is like within you, and what your true knowing might actually be, said no again. I'm mixing up the crown and the third eye a little bit, which is something I'm trying not to do, but they keep on. Maybe because they're both in your head. Maybe because actually looking at the crown and the third eye actually takes us to such an ethereal, higher place that they kind of intertwine ever so slightly. And the voices in my head say you can't really have one without the other. I actually almost want to keep them at the same time, but I won't. We're doing the crown next. Kind of excited about that one, aren't you? If you have any questions, please comment below. If you would like to subscribe to this channel, I highly recommend that. If you would like to like this video, I would like that too. I hope that you have a wonderful day today. Namaste.